Welcome to TMB Designs. I am Trevina, your host of this fabulous lifestyle channel. It is full of inspiration, motivation, and creativity. My desire is to help you transform your space from house to home. Good morning, family. So, today's video is going to be a little different. Different in that it's going to be like a little chit chat, and actually I was reminded of this particular type of video vlog, if you would, by one of the TMB family members. And so shout out to you, sis. And actually someone else had mentioned it to me or asked me about it. They had watched my Who is TMB Designs, kind of like a reintroduction of my channel, and they'd asked me about the round table talk or the kitchen table talk segments I mentioned doing in that particular video, and they were wanting to know where they could find them in my video library. And it reminded me, that I haven't done it, and so I appreciate them because it held me accountable, so to speak, for something that I mentioned doing, and I just kind of, not intentionally didn't do it, just like this was happening, and other types of videos were coming up, and so I never carved the time to incorporate them. And so my initial thought for them was going to be called Monday Manna, Monday Motivation. Since this is Monday, I figured it would be a good time to do that. So I will be doing these segments on Monday until the Lord says different. So I'm drinking, look at my cup, you guys. I absolutely love that. I just recently hauled this. I got this from Home Goods, and it says women support women. And so that also kind of triggered, how, well, if you don't, God brings things to your remembrance. He speaks to us through signs and just any little thing God can speak to us through. And so when I saw this, it kind of reignited that whole what happened to your motivational segments or whatever. I have so many women reach out to me from all over, from Jamaica, from Trinidad, from New York, from the Carolinas, just different places, even here locally in Arkansas. And just with things that are not related to anything that I ever post on my video, so on my videos. So I know that it's a need. So this may not be for everyone. It may, and if it's not for you, sis, log on to the next video, or, hit me up on Wednesday when I upload the next video. But these videos are more geared towards a woman that needs that extra support. She needs that boost. She needs that encouragement, or even just a confirmation. I believe that God confirms things. Nothing is really just revealed to us, because nothing is new under the heavens, but things are confirmed in our spirits. It may be like we have a certain unction about something, and then someone will come along and say something, or you'll see something that confirms what you were already feeling or thinking. So that's how I believe. And I could be wrong, but that's just my personal thought. But today's video or chat motivation will be girl power. Just it doesn't get any more clear than that. And I posted I uploaded a post this morning on my other social media platforms, my IG, my business page, as well as my personal page of me. I had a cup of coffee earlier, but now I'm doing a little detox tea, and I'll tell you what it is shortly. But it just kind of sparked something in me. Women support women. And I said, in a society where, we're kind of saturated with the division and the competition, and everybody wants to look like the next person and be the next person and be in competition with the next person, it's just so genuine to encourage a sister to just be yourself, regardless of your race, your age, your, whatever. Just be you. And if you don't know who you are, because a lot of us don't know who we are. I lived a good 30 plus years of my life without really knowing who Trevina was and what Trevina was called to do. So I know that it's real, and I know that I'm not the only one who endured that, who went through those phases in life and just was going through the motions of what she was taught to do. As little girls, we're taught to be wives. We're trained from playing with baby dolls on up to we are the mothers, we are the nurturers, we are the wives, the keepers of the house, so to speak. So we're trained to do that, subconsciously. That's like in the back of our mind. Not that every woman wants to be a wife or a mother, but or will be a wife or a mother, but the majority of us are trained from little girls to grow up and be the wife. From Barbie on up, Barbie had Ken, and then they gave Barbie babies, and then, you know, then Barbie had the dream house. So they kind of subconsciously put in our mind the mold that we are to follow as women, so to speak. And a lot of us get discouraged or disappointed when our mold is not forming in the way that was subconsciously programmed into us. And my message to you is, you know, just be you, sis. You know, everybody travels at their own pace. Everybody arrives at their destination at their set and appointed time. I believe that everyone has an appointed time. The book of Ephesians tells us for everything there is a time and there is a season. I don't mean to sound preachy, but that's who I am. That's who I am. And so if it gets a little preachy for you, log off and wait till Wednesday. But I have to be true to who I am. That was part of the thing for me, just learning to be true to who Trevina was. And so for so many years, I tried to fit into that mode of what society said, what my church community said, you know, or taught, or what mama said should be the format for my life. But in my life, it was as if God was taking me in a total different direction. I was doing those foundational things, but my method to getting there, or my process to get there, was different than the next sister. And so I found myself comparing my life or my marriage or my parenting ability to what someone else was doing. And that was the biggest mistake that I made. And so I know that a lot of us have made that mistake. You know, we pattern ourselves or we look over to the left and say, well, you know, Sister so-and-so and her family are blah, blah, blah. And we feel like we're a failure if we're not there. I have women that say, you know, if they don't have a baby by age 30, if they're not married by 25, if they don't have a house by 40, but maybe God wants to wait until you're 31 to get married. Maybe you're 31 to have a baby, or 26 to have a child, get married, or 41 to buy a home. So you just never know. You have to pray to ask God to give you the wisdom to understand time and season. That to me is the most powerful prayer you will ever pray as a woman of faith. If you don't have a faith, if you universe, whatever you want to call it, but when you begin to meditate and seek counsel for who you are and what direction you're to go in, the greatest thing you will ever acquire is an understanding of self. Understanding who you are, why you are, how you are, and being comfortable in it. You know, we're not all going to be the same sizes. We're definitely not all the same color. We arrive at different times and phases in our life, and we have to be okay with that. You know, we must be okay with that. We must accept that. And the moment we accept that, we can then support and encourage our sister if they make it to their destination before we do. If they walk down the altar before we do. If they have a baby shower before we do. You know, if they get their corporate position before we do. We still have to learn to be comfortable enough in who we are to be confident enough to celebrate them in their season. And so this morning, I just want to encourage you to just pray and ask God to show you who you are. Show you who you are. Ask God to show you who you are in Him. Because sometimes we battle with a negative self-image of ourselves. And so we may see ourselves one way, but once we begin to pray and ask God to show us who we are through Him, and we see ourselves through His eyes, it changes our perception. It changes the way we value ourselves, the way we respect ourselves, what we allow to happen or take place in our lives. It changes the way we parent. It changes the way we wife, the way we employ. It changes everything about us because we then understand who we are and why we are. You may be placed on a job that may be hectic, and you're trying to figure out why you're there. You may be that source of peace for that environment. You may be, with a child that's going astray. You may be that only memory of solitude in their life. Even though they may stray out, that reminder of who you are, that consistency of love that you give them, that consistency of support that you give them, that'll always come back to their remembrance. And so you just never know why you are where you are and you being operated or being functioning in the way that you're functioning. So that's it. I didn't want it to get too heavy, but I mean, sorry out that way. But just the sisters that reached out to me, I know they're watching. I have some very, very, faithful family members. And even if I don't post at a certain time or upload at a certain time, they hit me up on IG, Facebook. Hey sis, are you uploading today? I'm waiting. I want to see what's next. And so I appreciate that. It keeps me accountable. It It keeps me motivated. It keeps me encouraged and inspired. So you all help me in more ways than one. And one of the hashtags that I put on the post this morning was iron sharpens iron. And we are our sister's keeper. So whether I ever see you physically in life, I want to see you win. I want you to be blessed. I want you to be well. My prayer for my TMB family is the same as it is for my my event planning community, for my salon clientele. I pray for you all because we are connected. You know what I mean? So I want you to be well. I pray that God opens your eyes and help you to see the directions you are to go in. I pray that, that no door is closed to you that's supposed to be open to you. I pray that doors are closed for you, that no man can open them to bring condemnation or shame upon you. I pray for your success. I pray for your peace. I pray for your, just that God orders your steps, in every step of the way, in every magnitude of your life, that you have peace and that you understand your journey. And if you don't, just begin to pray, to ask God, show me me. Show me who I am. Show me what I am. Show me why I am, so that I can begin to walk in my purpose, so that I can begin to walk in my calling and be fulfilled. And there's no job too big or too small. Whatever God calls us to, there is resources provided for that. There is provision. There is prosperity, and there is peace that all comes along with just getting in place, finding your spot. And if you're in the left lane, the slow lane, if you're in the right lane, the slow lane, or the left lane, the fast lane, whatever lane God puts you in, stay there and stay the course. And just be encouraged this morning. Just know that I love you all. I'm praying for you all. And back to my tea. I did coffee earlier, but from time to time, I like to do this little detox tea. And I don't know if you can call it tea, but it's just 8 ounces of water, 2 tablespoons of apple cider vinegar. I take a half a lemon and squeeze the lemon juice in there, and a teaspoon of honey. And it just really kind of helps to detox. I notice a difference in my body when I do it. So from time to time, periodically, like each season, I'll sip on it for about a week, just to kind of get myself flushed out, just feeling good, and just, she problems. So it works for me. So if you want to try it, it's a detox. Some people say it's a weight loss thing. I don't do it for weight loss. I do it because I notice an instant difference in my body. So that's that. So without any further ado, I want you all to have a blessed and most beautiful, beautiful day. I say that, and I'm not saying it haphazardly. I really, really want you all to have a blessed day, a blessed life. I want you to do well. I want you to succeed. I want you to strive and live on purpose. So until the next Monday Manna, smooches.